It's not often that this room is full, and it makes me happy that it is. We're going to get through a couple quick items, and then we'll get on to the business at hand. First item on tonight's agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like Jim to lead us in that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the non-public and public minutes of January 19th, 2023 and January 26th, 2023.
Is there a second?
Yep, second.
Seconded by Carol. Any comments or questions regarding those minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, abstentions, that's 5-0. Consent agenda.
Motion to accept the consent agenda for February 2nd, 2023. Accounts payable payment manifest dated 2/2/23 for 2022 invoices. Accounts payable payment manifest dated 2/2/23 for 2023 invoices. Payroll payment manifest dated 2/2/23. Distribution of funds from the accrued wages fund in the amount of $12,000, $139.85.
Second.
Would anybody like to add anything to the consent agenda? Do it after? Okay. Okay, any comments or questions on any of those items? Hearing none, all those in favor of the consent agenda as read, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, abstentions? Great. Police department discussion. I wonder what's up with that. So we have a couple of things to say tonight, and I feel like I've been saying bye to Jim for the last month plus. But we did want to have you here both to formally as a board say thank you and wish you luck in your coming endeavor. I'm sorry to see you go, but we're very pleased with the work that you did here and really wish the best for you, Jim. We really do.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
You wanna, Nate, how do you wanna do this in front or?
Yeah, I'm putting Chris on the spot for a minute
Okay.
too.
Oh, okay, does Chris want to say something?
Yeah, do we need to be a certain spot or?
Wherever you'd like.
Right here, good?
Cole's got you.
All right. We just want to thank the chief for the last 5 years. We've had an excellent working relationship. We've built a great police department, and it's been a great joy working with him. Learned a lot throughout the years. We've had a lot of good stories. We sat around the other day eating lunch, bringing up stories. I won't bring any up tonight.
We'll go back to non-public.
Yeah. We'll leave that inside the PD. But we wanted to thank you for the last 5 years. We really appreciate it. And best of luck to you over in Belknap. I'm sure we'll still see each other.
Hey, Jeff, can you guys do the game just for a second? Thank you. Such a weird.
Jim, we have something else on our way, but as usual, it's not here. It's pass the card around, and we'll token of appreciation for that.
You gotta wait.
Very good.
Do you want to take a group select board picture with them?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it all.
Want to get less than that too?
First and next man, so that likes me look better.
She's in the background.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that I appreciate Eli not sharing the story that the select board may or may not.
We'll talk later.
My one of my successes is I'm very humble, so I don't mind remembering the ducks that caused a bad accident like the third week I was here. But I got a nice cruiser out of it. So.
Hey, I said I wasn't gonna say any stories, so.
Okay. It was funny that Eli, who was our youngest patrolman when I started, but has really developed well, and that was his favorite story when we were talking about it the other day. So anyway, no, I really appreciate it, and it is a great team. Chief Bean is going to do a fantastic job taking over, and they're a great group of guys. I'm really sad it's like family I'm leaving. So, but I'm right next door, and looking forward to seeing the success of all of you because you're going to do great things. So, I'm very proud board you should be to have a fully staffed department. So, I don't think it'll be long before you fill my position in a patrol position because people want to work here. So, thank you very much.
I will point out that the former chief has made the front of the paper in front of you.
Oh.
Being sworn in his new position.
Oh, that's why I had to. Oh yeah, he does look familiar. Number 2. That's excellent. Yeah, great. Well, thank you. That seems to leave us with a vacancy. So, Chris, if you want to come on up. The select board is just ecstatic to recognize Chris Bean and formally promote him to Chief of Police for the town of Bristol. And I'm not exactly sure on the ceremonial process, but my understanding is that Mrs. Bean will pin your badge. Sorry. My wife says the same thing. I don't know who that is.
Right now or no? No, Grandma will swear in.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So,
And then she'll pin it.
great.
You, Christopher Bean, solemnly swear that you will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent on you as a chief of police according to the best of your ability, and according to the rules and the regulations of the Constitution and the laws of the state of New Hampshire, so help me God.
I did.
You're sworn in.
I didn't get a hug when I got sworn in.
Me neither.
Oh God, a lefty.
All right.
Now?
Don't seem so excited.
Okay. Be happy to.
Chief, you ain't gonna get away without pictures.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you want to say a few?
Come on, Chris. Let's get the board up. Let's get some pictures.
Your turn.
Can you sign that quick?
Sorry to beat you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll stand next to Carol so she
Sure.
makes me look better. So here you go.
Now we just need about a 7-minute speech, Chris.
Is that the final task?
Yeah. Yeah.
We weren't kidding, go ahead.
Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. I've enjoyed working for this town for the last 16 years, and will continue to enjoy working here for the next 9 until I retire. Again, everybody here is great, so it makes the job a whole lot easier for me coming in, knowing that everybody knows what they're doing and they're all great. And we're going to continue to move forward and give the citizens of the Bristol a great police department. So I appreciate it.
Chris, do you want an opportunity to take a picture with family and
Yeah.
and the crew?
We're just gonna say that.
Yeah. You want to come up here? Yep. Let's do that.
Big flag line.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, no, get in there between the flags.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right way with the
Great to watch. All
right, let's get the whole crew in there.
Can we do one with just person PD?
Yep, yep.
Sorry.
Yes, let's get, sorry, before the, guys, let's get mom and dad in there and everybody else.
Come on in, Kens.
Hey, TV, hold on. That was a lot of crowd surfing I had to do.
Yep, yep.
All right, now you guys move.
All right, there you go. If the camera breaks, it's not a big deal.
You gotta deal down.
Yeah, Nick, you out front.
Like every school picture, you have to kneel. You guys?
You just
Maybe turn sideways, guys. Turn in and turn in. Timmy, you want your hat on?
Anybody else? Rest of the guys?
Yeah. William George.
Wait, these guys didn't get in. These two didn't get in on it. Can't be on the back.
Oh, no, good. Who's on your back?
All right, now everybody else. Now you guys can. Now you guys
Okay, we're going to adjourn for a few minutes. We've got some.
I'm sorry, may
Yep.
I ask for a parting photo of Jim and his guys?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can we have, can I ask?
Yep.
Thanks. I know that'll be long.
Not until I see so.
One more, guys.
Okay, just we pause the live stream.
Next. No.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sean, do you want to listen to me pontificate on how I think the world should work? Sure.
Please no. No, I'm kidding.
Over
I'm kidding, Paul. I'm kidding, Paul.
We should do exactly what I say.
I'm sorry, I say when I'm benevolent dictator, this is.
Yes,
This is the way it would work, yeah. Okay, we're back in session.
You're all set, right? Yeah.
Good, yep. All right, public safety building update.
So part of that was obviously to trick the chief.
Yeah.
Because he asked me, do I need to say it? I'm like, nope. But I figured to give a brief update for everyone so they know where the status is on the move. The PD is starting to, they've had lumber delivered and sheetrock delivered. They're gonna start building out the 2 rooms upstairs in the storage area. They've already started moving stuff out of those areas for us. They will be, a truck will be placed over at the PD now, and Mark has agreed to put one there the next 2 Wednesdays and then the Friday, February 17th, just to get anything that they need to throw away if they're not leaving it in the building.
Yeah.
They have a refrigerator that's gotta go, a few other things. They're gonna recycle 4 doors to bring here, because we're gonna have to put a door on the reception area. And we have to put a door to replace the select board meeting room door upstairs, because it's a glass, windowed door. So they're gonna put a solid door.
Okay.
And then they have 2 doors that will go on the spaces over here. We're still looking at other options too for them instead of having to get a storage container at this point. And one of them is the meeting room B down here, to use that space as well, because we do use it for smaller meetings, but if we had to get by without that meeting room we could for a year. We've already started moving some filing cabinets around that were in there to prepare just in case. So February 20th, the town offices have a holiday. The server in this building will be relocated, which means there will be no regular phone systems for the town. We're setting it up so that the people that are normally here, the emergency departments, police, fire, and actually the TTCC is also on our phone system, so they're open that day. So we're gonna set it up so that their calls go to alternative numbers.
Okay.
So that we won't lose those calls, but this building probably won't even have a voicemail, and we'll make sure we advertise something ahead of time.
Okay.
And then there won't be any computer systems on the 20th, but it was the perfect day because most people aren't gonna be here. So we won't have a problem with that. The phone company will be here, the electrician may be here, and the IT company will be here.
Great.
The electrician should be installing the outlet that we've asked them to do in the lobby. Fixing the lighting situation upstairs.
Yep.
And adding lights into the storage areas, because now that they'll be sheetrocked off,
Yeah.
we'll need lights.
Yep.
And then we had them look at the kitchen. The kitchen keeps blowing the power when you use certain things, and it shouldn't be. And also to make sure that the new IT room had sufficient air voltage or plugins, and he said he thought it did, but they're recommending to change out the breaker box in the kitchen, so they're gonna do that the same day too, because we would lose internet that day as well, so. The PD plans to be moving stuff. You'll start seeing stuff coming into this building from them. They're gonna start moving stuff in before the drop dead date, we're calling it. Their drop dead date is February 21st. So our server will be relocated, everything will be set up on the 20th. Their server will be moved here, and all their phone systems on February 21st. So I think that brings you sort of up to speed where they're at, but they plan to have everything, if they can, by the 17th done, except for the server. The shed, Mark is looking at options to move that shed also that same week. If he can't, because he's gonna check it, make sure it can be moved, because they were concerned about.
I think that shed is destined for the,
Well,
for the
that's,
bin.
worst case, we leave it there
Yeah.
and let it get demolished with the
Yeah.
building, but he's gonna check it, and if it is anything that he can move, and, then it will go to the lower transfer station, so,
All right.
Is there a generator here?
yes. And we're still working on that, it's still running twice a week, but they're not, returning. The company that we were trying to contract with now isn't responding, but, it runs twice a week, 15 minutes a day, twice a week. So we're trying to get it changed, it shouldn't run that much.
So need to.
No.
Yeah.
So, but what we found out in this process, that there's not even a service contract on that generator. So we're trying to fix that, so,
Okay. Okay,
yeah, the one out back.
yeah,
So, the generator for the other building, they are going to put that to the side, and that will be going back into use.
yeah. Who's, do we have a service agreement for the fire department and or that one?
I asked Ben, but I'll ask him again,
Okay,
because I can't remember his answer now, so.
yeah. I'm pretty sure that, and there's a bunch of companies out there, but I'm pretty sure that Morin, right across the river, does generator installations.
So we've given these guys, they're the ones actually who did the install, I think, and we've given them plenty of opportunity to
Morin?
get back in touch. I don't know, is Morin who did it?
I don't know,
No.
that's what I'm,
Yeah, Wendy's been helping with that, so I'll have her, we reached out to them one more time last week. If we have no response, then we're gonna go to
Yeah.
someone else at this
Yeah.
point.
yeah. All right,
And then we should, knock on wood, we hope to have the contract all worked out and signed by, my hope will be next week. So, and then we'll have more definitive dates for you. So.
great, any comments or questions? Okay. Warrant articles?
You've got two, you've got your two of them there. Draft 4 in your folder is just the ones that we've already talked about and already
Yep.
presented. Draft 4 alternate was the adding a potential warrant article, if that's the board's pleasure, for the public safety building.
Has the budget committee voted on what we've presented thus far?
I'm trying to.
Warrant articles?
Not yet, because we haven't
No.
finalized it yet.
Okay,
So the board has to vote on, my understanding is all but
Yeah.
Article 11. I'm gonna ask that the board vote on Article 11 in anticipation that the budget committee doesn't change it.
yeah,
If they do change it, then you're gonna have to have a special meeting to
Yep.
vote on that article.
Yep.
So after the public hearing.
Yep.
I just, because of timing, you don't have another meeting again until the 16th. They'll be looking at it on the 7th at their public
Yeah.
hearing and then voting.
so before we look at, before we look at whether we add the extra heating system to the bay of the building, I did get a timely visit from Ron Preble last night, who wanted to make sure that I knew about the fact that the veterans tax credit has to be renewed. I told him that I thought we were on top of that, but I did text Christina last night. She said, yes, it is on the warrant.
It's on the warrant.
Do we keep it at the 500? We're allowed to go up to 700, correct?
750,
Yeah.
so
There's two categories, right?
the.
There's any veteran and veterans that have served in a war. Right now, we give them the
Equal?
same.
Yeah,
That's why there's two items on the warrant. Maybe we make it 500.
We didn't know if you wanted to change that this year or not, and the reason we left it at the 500 is because we do have to relook at not just veterans going into the future. We have to relook at elderly, so we didn't know if you wanted us to do that and then come back
but
next
without
year.
doing this, it lapses to $50.
It lapses completely.
Completely.
Zero.
Yeah.
To zero, so you have to, this has to go in no matter what,
Okay.
whether you change it or
I'm
not.
good with that, and then looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we do think that you should probably make some adjustments for elderly.
Yeah.
Especially because values have changed, but
Right.
we haven't changed our.
What's the current elderly exemption?
So 65 to 74 gets a $25,000 exemption off of their assessment. 75 to 79 is 30,000, and 80 plus is 45,000.
And the,
If you have to meet income and asset limits.
yeah, and the veterans is just a straight credit
So-
off of their tax bill?
Yeah, they get it half and half, so half in the spring and then half in the
Yeah.
fall. The only two we had to readopt are the standard veteran, I call it the standard veteran, but in the article you'll see it's optional.
Yeah,
So that is anybody who's served in a qualifying time period, has an active service, and was honorably discharged.
Yeah.
So that also, if they've done that and they qualify as total and permanently disabled, they get an additional credit. So I think and I didn't get to verify this before tonight, but I think what happens is if we don't readopt it, everybody loses everything
Yeah.
on there. But I'd have to double check that.
Okay.
We don't have to readopt the total and permanent.
okay,
And then the all veterans just mean that they've served 90 days active duty and were honorably discharged.
Okay.
So.
all right. I just wanted to make sure we had that covered. I thought we had, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to double check. Yeah, okay. So then the question remains,
So you
do you need us to go through each?
can vote.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to just start with the regular one, and then we can decide on the alternative one.
Yep,
Or we can look at the alternative one at the same
Just go
time.
through that.
So if you
So-
look, oops, too many mice over here. Let me put
We'll
the,
go through the alternate one and
Okay.
then just decide whether we want to put
Yep.
that in or not.
let me do that. Let me
Bring
get
that
that
up.
up on the screen.
so we'd start at 11.
Yes. So
11
Those,
is,
is the budget committee finalized? Those are the final numbers?
So those are the numbers as of last night, as of Tuesday night. Sorry, they have a public hearing. Let me get this shared for last two.
So we shouldn't vote on that until after that.
So the
Final
only
adjustments.
reason I'm asking you to vote on it is because if they don't change anything, your vote's in and you don't have to have a special meeting.
Okay.
So, but if they change it, then we have to have a special meeting and you have to vote on it. And I'm not gonna put your vote on that article because technically you aren't, but if you vote on what's currently before the public and everything, then we don't have to come back and have a special
Yeah.
meeting. So,
okay.
Okay. That works.
So
that's
Article,
not- and that's if the board agrees to do that
Yeah.
way, so.
That works.
Because I actually didn't know that you don't vote on that until Tuesday night first.
We talked, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we talked about this Tuesday night, and I pointed out to the budget committee that for Article 11, the committee will vote, our budget committee would vote first after the public meeting. And then between then and now, you guys would vote on all the other amendments, and we would know what your recommendations are when we then vote for 12 and higher
Yep.
on Tuesday night. But then Christina said, yeah, but the problem is that
If you change
the
it.
the select board doesn't have a meeting scheduled after the budget committee meeting next Tuesday, so it's a bit of a problem.
And
So-
we're running into deadlines that we have to get it in the town
Yes,
report and all of that. so-
I think Christina hasn't said it quite this way, but I will. The budget committee has the ability to change the budget still to next Tuesday.
Yes.
We don't have any intention to, I would be surprised if we do.
Okay.
So I will say that.
That's fair, and I appreciate that. Okay, would someone like to move Article 11?
I'll move to recommend Article 11.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anita. Any comments or questions? I personally don't have a lot of heartburn over the difference, especially after all the work that goes into both our side and their side.
Yep.
Not that there's opposing sides, but all the work that both parties have done, I think it's amazing to be that close, frankly.
66,000?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought- yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I only did it once. Check your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Budget
percent?
committee did a good job.
Okay. What percentage is that?
I think it ended, I can tell you. It ended
Less than
at-
one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just, okay.
80 would be 83.
Yep. Would be
1,000 would be
1%.
1%.
Yeah.
Engineers take shortcuts like that.
Yeah. Okay, if no further comments and questions, all those in favor of recommending, yep, sorry.
Do a roll call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Les is online, we have to do a roll call vote. So we are voting to recommend Article 11. Carol?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Aye from me?
Aye, Don.
Aye. Les?
Aye.
Thank you, that is 5-0.
I take a quick moment to give some advice to the budget committee on this. Even if, say there's one that the budget committee doesn't want to recommend,
Yeah,
still make the motion to recommend and then vote like 1 to whatever against.
okay.
When you say recommend not to, if it doesn't pass, then you're at a conundrum. It's called a negative motion, and negative motions are just tough. So just remind your committee that even if they're against it, still make the motion for it.
You're voting whether to
I,
recommend.
yes, no, I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, and I
And-
agree.
and-
The motion will be to recommend, and
Yeah.
if the vote
And if
is
it
in the
fails, it
negative,
fails.
Right.
then we'll leave it to Christina to.
Then it's obvious that it's not recommended.
Yeah.
But if you vote to not recommend and it doesn't pass, that doesn't automatically mean that it is recommended. It's a double negative thing.
Can I clarify how we would show that then?
Yeah.
So if they vote to recommend and it fails, I'm just gonna say they voted to recommend 0 to 5, right?
Right, exactly. That's how it should be presented.
Just wanna make sure.
Because that's the most clear way to do a motion.
Okay.
Negative motions drive me crazy. So,
So I wonder why we even offer does not recommend on these,
It's,
yeah.
you want the answer?
because it's the DRA. No, I'm kidding.
Because it's always been done that way.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if the motion comes out that they don't recommend, that's what you put down. They
Yeah.
don't recommend.
So instead,
But it's a matter of, yeah,
okay,
Even if the motion is made to recommend, if it comes out negative, then it's a do not recommend.
got it, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Parliamentary procedure, sorry. All right, thank you for indulging me.
Article 12 is the contingency fund.
You want me to make all the motions? Or
Sure.
does somebody else want to?
No? That'll get us through the process.
All right, I recommend, I move to recommend Article 12.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Les, thank you.
Gotta be quick.
Any comments or questions regarding Article 12?
That's cut and dry.
Okay, hearing none, we will do a roll call vote. Selectman Brown?
Yes.
Junior? Yes. Anita?
Aye.
That's an aye from me.
Don, aye.
And Les?
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0 for Article 12 to recommend.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 13.
Article 13 is for $10,000 be added for Patriotic Recreation Special Events Expendable Trust Fund. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anita. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, call for a roll call vote. Carol?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Aye from me.
Don, aye.
And Les?
Aye.
That is 5-0, Article 13.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 14 to raise and appropriate $379,000 to the following capital reserves. 35 to accrued wages, 45,000 to the revaluation capital reserve, 75,000 to fire equipment, 120,000 to highway equipment, 54,000 to police vehicle reserve, and 50,000 to town building maintenance.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anita.
75.
Had we,
We left it 75, I asked the chief, sorry.
okay, yeah, I have a question on that, and 54 is enough on the police?
The CIP only moved it up to 2,000, so we left it with the CIP. CIP did move up fire, but we had talked to the chief, and CIP moves fire up next year, I think,
I think so, yeah.
not this year,
Okay.
so. But for the police cart cruiser, they moved it up to 54.
Okay.
CIP.
Okay.
And CIP is recommended, so
Yep.
if the chief had a good reason to raise it because prices are going up, Yeah, even from when we did the CIP, that works.
Yeah, all right. All right, if there is no further comments or questions on Article 14, we'll have a roll call vote. Carol?
Aye.
Anita? Aye from me.
Don, aye.
And Les?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Aye.
That is 5-0 to recommend Article 14.
Make a motion to recommend Article 15 to see if the town will vote to amend the police detail revolving fund from the 2015 creation to have 100% of the revenues into the fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Carol. Any comments or questions?
Did we need to clarify this, Paul, or did we hash it out well enough that everybody understood it?
We talked about this I think we hashed it out enough that.
Okay.
It was 80, which we figured that out Tuesday night, but it was 80% going into this fund, with 20% going into the general fund, and we found that it's not covering the details, so the recommendation is to move that 100%.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions or comments?
Nope.
Hearing none, roll call vote. Carol?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Aye from me.
Don, aye.
And Les?
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0 to recommend Article 15. Article 16,
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 16 to establish a Highway Department Projects Capital Reserve Fund under RSA 35:1 for funding highway projects. Start off with appropriation of $50,000 to be placed in the fund and to have the select board named as agents to expend.
from unexpended fund balance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, appropriate $50,000 from unexpended, yes, fund balance.
That's the important part.
Yes, it is, I missed that.
Yeah.
The
Is there-
only thing that changed, oh, sorry. I'll let
Is
you
there a
guys-
second?
Second.
Second by Anita. Yes.
The only thing that changed was just, the budget committee had a recommendation to change it to or replacement or repair, culvert replacement or repair, and that's the only thing I changed in that one.
Okay.
And just, yeah, the Department of Revenue, I didn't tell you that at the beginning, the Department of Revenue has pretty much signed off on all of these, and I'll get, when we get to the one that they have questions about, I'll tell you.
Okay. All
I
right.
did have a question.
Yep.
And the unassigned fund balance is called that, and the reserve and the unexpended fund balance?
Unassigned fund balance
Are
and
we-
unexpected fund balance are, unexpected is not correct. It is the unassigned.
Unassigned, yeah.
Unassigned.
And which is the-
But if
Unexpended is not technically correct,
Right.
but
Right.
The unreserved fund balance is technically the same as the unassigned.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
unreserved and unassigned are
Yeah.
used interchangeably.
And
Probably
the-
not correctly, but
got it, okay.
yeah. The language, this language comes from the Department of Revenue to
Yeah.
use. They're similar, but,
Just in case somebody asks me.
Yep.
okay.
yep.
Any further comments or questions on Article 16? Hearing none, call a roll call vote. Carol?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Aye from me.
Don, aye.
And Les?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
That is
Got
5-0
two
for Article 16.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 17, see if the town will raise and appropriate $61,961 to add it to the following funds previously established. Miscellaneous capital funds project, $13,174. Water capital project fund, $1,509. Sewer capital fund, project fund, $47,278.
Okay, and this is relative to the project funds.
Yeah, coming from the unassigned
Yeah.
fund balance.
Should we say that?
It does.
It does.
If
Yeah, I
Article
didn't scroll
17
down.
continued.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you scroll down on that?
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Any comments or questions on Article 17?
Did you get a second?
Sorry, is there a
I did,
second?
I did.
Yeah, second by Carol. Any
So-
comments or questions?
This is the one the Department of Revenue is having some questions about. I've answered their first question, I can't answer their second, so Bob should be able to answer that tomorrow.
Which is ironic because it's
It's
the
the-
auditors that are making us do that.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, you think the already.
I don't anticipate any changes.
Yeah.
However, the Department of Revenue, I never know what will come
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah.
So if there is, we'll have to have a special meeting.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Do you,
any major changes, we'd have to have a special meeting, sorry.
okay, do you really care if unassigned fund is capitalized here
I
and it's
can
not
fix-
in the previous paragraph?
Yeah.
I can fix that, but
That's the best I got, all right.
Okay.
You might want to capitalize it to previous, just so it stands out.
yeah,
Whatever's
that would probably be
consistent,
better,
right.
yeah. Wherever it's mentioned, it would be
Yeah.
better. I think it's in Article
It's in
12 too, so
Yeah.
I'll fix that. Or-
Okay, any further comments or questions on Article 17? I'll call for roll call vote.
Carol, aye.
Anita, I.
Sean, aye.
Don, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Make a motion.
Well, so 18
Go ahead.
is the new article
Yeah,
that you
do
want
we
to
wanna
talk
do-
about. So-
Do we want to do 18 right now?
Let's go to 19.
Okay, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 19. So the town re-adopt the optional veterans tax credit from RSA 72:28 2 at $500.
Second.
Second by Carol. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, I will call a roll call vote.
Carol, aye.
Anita, I.
Sean, aye.
Don, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0 for Article 19.
I did, so I put the select board recommending because I think you usually want to recommend on all of them.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't
Require.
necessarily require one, and I
Yeah.
did check and the budget committee wouldn't vote on this.
Okay, on 20?
On
Yeah.
a 19 or 20.
Okay.
Yeah, Budget Committee only recommends on
Right,
appropriations.
On appropriations, and this isn't, it's a tax
It's a
credit. so-
Right, even though it affects
Yeah,
the bottom line.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if they want to, they have to step up to the big board. If you want that kind of power. I'll make a motion to recommend Article 20 so the town to re-adopt the all veterans tax credit in accordance with RSA 72:28-B for annual credit of, oh, doesn't have the amount here.
It's, so this is the
Oh,
word.
same amount as the standard or optional, which would be $500.
Yeah.
Second, again.
Second by Carol. Any comments or questions?
And that wording is straight from the Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Carol, aye.
Anita, I.
Sean, aye.
Don, aye.
Was I?
Thank you.
So,
So now we go
should we
back to.
discuss Article 18?
Yeah. So Article 18, to raise and appropriate the sum of $107,000 for the purpose of rating, heating, and public safety buildings. Said sum will come from the unassigned fund balance and no amount to be raised by taxation.
Does that allow us to still look for grants or some sort of thing like that?
For this,
Yeah,
We don't need to.
no,
We need to
no.
look for grants for the other things we're not doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Right, this wouldn't allow you because you're taking, well, I guess if you just didn't do it.
could have, or you just.
Or it could be applied towards a, if another, well.
Well, you don't want to mess up the wording in the grant. It has to be applied
Right.
to this versus going into the general fund to replace,
Right.
yeah, which this isn't even going to come from the general fund.
Right.
That's, yeah,
Well, this is unassigned fund, it's gonna come from,
yeah.
Could-
so, cause
I don't know if you can throw an or seek grant funding for the same.
we can, I think we've done that before.
Yeah, I thought we've done multiple.
I thought we did that when we talked about, in the water sewer article, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It talks about, I can get the exact wording, put in there, but I did think it was in the water sewer article. How long
Think we
ago
can
was
get a
that?
grant and get it all done before they pour concrete?
Well, so the reason we had to put this in here is because we have till May of 2023 to make a decision to put this back in or not.
Right.
That was
We have
on
to
that
have the
schedule.
Yeah.
So,
I'm saying, I think we can get a grant, get it done, and get the money before they pour concrete in May of 2023. I mean, the floor will be pretty soon in the
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I did check our opera funding and there's too many restrictions
Yep.
on it.
Yep.
But I got a person I can talk to at the county level, but by the time I get that decision, we needed to put this in if we were gonna try to put this back in or not.
I was of the feeling that we needed to use as much as we possibly could be comfortable with out of that fund to facilitate this building. So I would be in favor of this warrant article.
So what's the number? How much money
There-
will we end up with about in the unexpended / anticipated / reserve fund?
How much went in? How much went in?
It's a guess right now, it's not totally finalized, but the guess from Bob was 150,000 was going in. Let me just find the email and I can tell you the exact number.
It doesn't need to be exact. That's fine.
I think it was
You
right
answered
just
my
over
question
five.
and my intention.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, it was just over 550,000 that was in there after the items that were voted on last year came out of the fund and after the money that was used for applying to the tax
And
rate.
before we put the plus or minus 150 in.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So roughly just under, right around.
So even with
700,000.
this, it will still grow slightly.
Yeah, it'll go, it was roughly 600, yeah, because it'll grow by about 50,000, just give or take.
however,
I know,
we're spending 62 out of it,
Yep.
as well as,
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
We're spending about 130, thank you, Don, for
Actually,
reminding me. About
we're
130.
spending, 112.
I rounded higher because you got 25,000 coming.
112 plus the 25.
Yeah.
Right now. But the
Coming out.
25 is squishy, that
At least
if you don't use it,
563.
it doesn't come out.
Yeah,
At least 563, roughly.
yeah.
And what do we have to keep in there by law?
It's percent, that's the hard thing.
There is no law, the
It's a
recommendation.
recommendation, so their percent.
Some towns don't have any.
The state does.
Yeah.
What's the
They're-
percent?
The percent is,
229,
well,
so-
minimum is they recommend is 5%.
5%?
Yeah, but it's not calculated that way, Carol. It's based off of, it's based off of something to do also with your values, because it's all done at the tax rate time thing. So,
It's DRA, it's never straightforward.
Okay.
no, not at all.
Well,
Historically, we've been midway in their range.
Historically, yeah, we're just, I think we were just, when we did the tax rate setting, we were just above it. So we were somewhere around 6% when we did the tax rate setting,
So about what is the
which
number?
was about 692,000 that we had in there.
And they recommend 3 to,
5% to 17%.
yeah.
So,
Well, 5% was,
and our policy, our fund balance policy, which
Yeah.
you're gonna have to re-adopt in April, I think says 6%.
Yeah. But that's as a target, that's
Yeah,
not
that's a
strict, we
target,
have to
yeah.
keep that. There are towns that run 0. They're
I'm not
crazy,
saying, yeah.
in my
Right,
humble opinion.
right,
In
right.
my
I'm
humble
not
opinion, they're
saying
crazy.
we should do that, but
so 17% is 95,700.
Okay, so
no.
you had 733,000 roughly. You took out 89,000 for 2023 warrant articles, and you took out 125,000 for the BTA legal issue. And that dropped it to 521.
Which was
Right.
6%.
And then, you know, it was just probably closer to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, now that I look at this number better, it was closer to 5% already. And then we're adding roughly 150, that was the
Yeah, that's
best
fine.
guess,
Round
but
numbers, yeah.
150. So that would move you to 670,000 roughly.
And then we'd be taking out,
230 if we do all this,
230, you do all.
including the 107.
Which put us at 5,
which
whatever I
440.
said, 440?
We'll have to really try to grow that over the next couple of years.
Yeah,
But
not touch it as much.
in my opinion, it gets us through this hurdle.
how much can we use towards the building? Yeah, just,
You could use
Entertain.
all of it.
You could use all of
Yeah.
it, but it's.
I don't think that's a smart way to.
no, I'm just asking, yeah.
Because I think there are some things on that list that we can do over the course of the next few years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the legislative body could use all of it.
Yes.
We can't just
Right,
willy-nilly.
right,
Right.
But, yeah.
right.
That's
Will
right.
will this address the parking, the parking in the back?
No, we'll have to address that in the coming years.
It's another 200,000.
But I think we could do it because it wouldn't be done. We might be able to, well, it should be done. We might be
We
able
might
to,
get a grant.
either that or, well, we're gonna have to, we only have X amount of dollars to work with.
Right.
Yeah, I'd recommend that you guys look in the future and do that and
Yeah,
put it off.
So that had to be put back in by March,
Yeah, no,
So-
I think we're gonna miss that.
yeah.
And we're confident that the $107,000 rate in heat, so that it's gonna save money, we're told, over the long term in heating the building, or not? Or it's a better way to heat, it's a better way to heat the building, I get that. It's preferable.
Yeah,
For $107,000, are we saving money on the heating over 30 years, 50 years of the building? Because somebody said that 2 meetings ago. Somebody said, oh, it's gonna save money.
it helps. It's not something that you can say it's gonna be a 50% reduction in, heating over the course of the next 20 years.
Right.
Um,
This is the,
It's more of it helps, and it's more of an operational
Yep. No,
improvement.
I understand that, and I think it's great. And like I said, when we were down at Farmington, the guys were all over it.
Yeah, it's hard to probably do a break-even analysis of when you're gonna, of how much you're gonna save. But the way it does save is you've got that massive heat. Every time you open those huge garage doors, all the hot air goes out.
Not only that,
So you have to reheat that hot air versus if you close it, you've still got this mass that has all that heat that naturally.
The cement
No, you don't
material.
have to convince me. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to say, what would
So,
you do? What would you do?
putting a
at
number
home?
on that is difficult.
I got 20
Not only
things I
that,
wanna
but
do. I
when
got 20 things I wanna do.
Oh, yeah, I think.
Is
yeah.
this the one we wanna do for $110,000? The bump
Yeah.
out was 46.
I think it is, in my opinion, because to get to that next level, to get the parking in the back, makes me uncomfortable with the residual in that fund.
Okay. Oh, right, to do another 200, to do 313,000, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or-
or even just to trade the one for the other
Yeah, it's another 95,000.
is still pushing it, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is one that you're either gonna do it now or you're not gonna do it
Right.
now. At least with the
No, I get
parking,
that. I
with the
get that.
parking, you
Yeah.
can put
As
that
much
off
of a pain
now.
in the butt as it's going to be, you can do that in the future. This
Right.
one has to be done now.
No, I get all that. I'm just
Yeah.
making sure that's the piece we wanna do
Yeah.
of all these things.
And for the parking, you can do in-kind trades possibly for somebody to do dirt work for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to economize on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, most of this, you can put a mezzanine later, you can do all this.
Yeah.
The only thing, the bump out, you really can't do later.
Right.
You could, I think technically you could if you wanted to add to
Yeah.
the building. If you had to, 40 years from now, add to the length of the
In
building.
my opinion, the bump out was, it was nice if we could get it, but it doesn't.
And part of the
Yeah,
reason
the
for
chief
bump
said-
out was the hose tower, and the hose tower's gone now.
Right, so you said we could squeeze everything.
Yeah, so you've already got the extra room from losing the
Okay,
hose tower.
I just thought it was wise to have this conversation.
Oh, yeah,
No,
absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think Les.
Yep,
she
Les.
She muted herself.
Sorry, Les.
No, that's okay. I thought, when Braun came in to talk to us, that he indicated that there was not this was not a big heat savings. I wouldn't want to leave our hands on that with the taxpayers.
Right, no, I don't.
Totally agree. Yeah.
I don't think it's a huge heat saving, I think, but it does help.
It's a better way of heating though.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah, I agree.
intangible.
Yeah.
Sorry, Les, go ahead.
No, she just
Oh,
said
she
she agreed.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of intangible.
Like, gotta be way better for the equipment. Everything's just drying right off, having it down and gone,
That's-
all that water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true too.
Snow,
Yeah.
salt, they
Yeah.
can get it off of there and dry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's more of the intangible savings that your equipment's probably gonna last longer.
Yeah, we'd think.
But you can't, but putting a number value on that to do the break even, like I said, is very difficult.
I'm guessing we're gonna have to answer this particular question,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, yeah, it should.
So,
And the town can vote that they don't wanna put that money out there for it, so.
yeah.
It's the beauty of town meeting.
And then we'd be stuck.
No, we'd still have the
No.
floor, we just wouldn't have the radiant.
No, but if they don't, if the warrant article doesn't get passed, we can't use that $107,000 towards the parking lot.
No,
No.
Right.
Oh, no, no.
no, it's a specific purpose.
You would have to appropriate, you'd have to have a warrant article to appropriate that.
We talked
We're
about
not
making it
doing that.
just to the public safety building, Bob and I today, but Bob felt that we would have a harder battle if it
Yeah.
didn't specifically say what it's
Ironically,
for.
someone can make a motion and increase the budget on the floor. You know, anything can happen.
Okay.
It's not something I'm saying should or or will, but you know, you never know where you know what happens.
On a late Saturday afternoon.
I mean, we bought a fire truck on a petition warrant article. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You could add 200 and some thousand to paving and do it that way.
Right.
It's technically paving.
So,
I was just looking for the wording to add, but
Yeah.
when did we put do you remember what year we put the water sewer?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
5 years,
I
4 years
was,
ago.
just on the same topic, I was talking to Christina about sharing, getting some agreements maybe with Nana or with and she suggested the people across the street for extra parking.
Yeah.
Because then
I-
if we're, as time goes on, if we're desperate for more spaces there to use the space like we want to,
Even if it's just on certain occasions.
evenings
Yeah.
or trainings
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
It would have to be nights more
Yeah.
than days,
Yeah.
but
Wait,
I think I found.
Now
I think I have the correct, seriously? I think I have the correct wording that that we could probably use on this. So, said sum will come from the unassigned fund balance. Wait a sec.
And no amount to be raised by taxation.
Yeah.
Period.
And then and to authorize the select board to seek grant funds, I think is all we have to add in.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
in lieu of or just leave it that way.
Yeah.
yeah. It's actually, it says where it's gonna come from, and then
Yeah.
also authorize the select board to seek grant funding to offset all or part of it.
Okay, do you wanna make that motion? Just read the article.
Read the article and add that in?
Yep.
Will that work for capturing it?
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 18 worded as such, to raise and appropriate the sum of $107,000 for the purpose of radiant heating in the public safety building. Said sum will come from the unassigned fund balance and no amount to be raised by taxation. Further, to authorize the select board to look for grants to offset all or part of this money, or this appropriation.
Second.
Second by Anita. Any further comments or questions?
Do you want me to read it back to you?
Yes.
Just that sentence, how's
Yep.
that? Further, to authorize the select board to look for grants to offset all or part of this appropriation.
There we go. I think that should pass DRA.
Carol, I.
Anita, I.
Les, I.
Don's
John, aye. 5-0.
We sort of caught on.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We all caught on.
There will be I believe there will be a petition warrant article. Parts of it has come in.
Parts of it?
Parts of it. Some people have submitted, there wasn't enough signatures yet, but there are other people bringing in
Yeah.
apparently their part. So I do anticipate the solar petition article will have enough signatures. The only thing, I don't know if it's 100% or 50%, I haven't seen it at all yet. You will have to vote on that one. Well, if you don't have to.
We don't
but-
have to.
But if you want to, the select board's allowed to
Yeah.
provide recommendation on petition warrant article, so.
That was the getting a break.
Yep.
It's on,
Tax break.
a tax break on solar, and I believe the last, we talked with, the person who's bringing it forward, he was doing 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
100% of what?
the whole value, you
Of the
would,
value.
so if somebody, if this passed, the intent would be that, say it was a $10,000 value, that the solar increased.
Not 100% of the cost, it'd be 100% of the
The
valuation.
valuation, yeah.
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 So if it was 10,000 that was assessed at, 10,000 would be offset
Yeah.
as a discount, so. So that most likely will be in on time and will be at the budget hearing.
Okay.
I have confirmed budget committee doesn't vote on it,
Yeah.
but I know that the select board has
The
the
ability.
ability
Yeah.
to vote on it if they
Okay.
want to.
And I'll probably have an amendment ready to change it to 50.
Can you amend the petition warrant article?
Oh, yeah.
On the floor, probably, yeah.
Yep, as long as it doesn't change the intent.
Yep.
And in certain cases, it's gotten by where the intent has changed.
25.
Yeah.
But I won't talk about the deliberative session of last year's school district.
Right.
No, not you.
For this warrant article, do you want me to say anything at the budget committee next week about our position, or just leave it alone?
You could just say that the reason it shows up as a petition warrant article is because the select board declined to put it on the warrant themselves.
Fair, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, that was good. Cash receipt policy.
There are two in your folder, just because the PDF, when you copy it, doesn't catch all of your changes. Whoops. Doing it from back here is a little different. Share screen, cash receipts. So, the count, it hadn't been changed since 2020. Bob, had recommended a couple things be changed. And when I reviewed it, there was a few other things that I thought should be changed. So anything that's in red, which I think it's marked as just regular cash receipts policy and your number. Tell you which number it is. Number 5, it's a Word document is the one that's marked up, and then number 5, policy updated is a clean copy, because that's what the PDF does for some reason.
Yep.
So we have, according to the way the cash receipts policy is, we have to post this in 2 public places and announce when the meeting is. So we posted it on the website, and we also posted it in the lobby for this meeting. So we did meet those regulations. Too many mice. If you look, it's pretty much updating number 4 on page 2. The fire department brings their receipts to the town clerk tax collector's office, so we took that out. They don't do their own deposits. The revenues are, other revenues go to, and we changed it to the finance director, because
Yep.
he can, I don't know if you wanted to say or designee, but it's between him and Wendy normally that handle those.
That's fine.
Number 8 on the next page, we just fixed some of the formatting and wording, didn't make any big changes. Number 8, we said daily instead of monthly. And there's an R, oh good, I caught it on this copy. Okay, under deposits, it was just fixing, there were weird formatting things in the document and changing it to finance director. Under amendments, we changed, because it said at least 14 days from the date of the meeting, so it might sound like you're supposed to post it after you
Right.
meeting, so we just fixed that. So it's minor changes, so we just needed to have it before you to vote on, so.
Okay,
um,
so you're looking for us to adopt this tonight?
Yes,
Okay.
if you're comfortable.
I'll make a motion to adopt the cash receipts policy dated for today.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Carol. Are there any comments or questions, discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Carol, aye.
Anita, aye.
Sean, aye.
Don, aye.
West, aye.
There we go. Awesome, we got it. Thank you, that is adopted. Too many things open.
I'm stealing your pen.
Town administrator report.
I'm not gonna put that up on the screen, so.
Yep.
Let me just get to it. The town car, I kind of gave you an update last week. We're gonna look into how we get rid of it. What options we have to do to dispose of it. Jeff is lending us a truck. He was, when we first approached him, Jeff, yeah, I need.
You handed it to me with it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So Jeff was concerned that if we took one permanently.
Yeah.
But he said that, he'd be willing to let us use a truck for enforcement purposes until we get a resolution.
Okay.
So we are gonna do that. Building updates, I already gave you the public safety building updates. And the transfer station shed, so we can skip that. I'm still having trouble with contact, so I'm using both still.
Yeah.
Mainly I'm using assessing, because that's the easiest one to get into right now. I've spoken with IT today, and they're assuring me within the next 2 days, all of our outstanding issues will be addressed, so fingers crossed. Verizon, I called to check with them on the supply chain issue, and they have told me the current activation forecast is for March 10th. I don't think they'll be up there that soon, but I think they're saying they're gonna be up there March or April, so.
Okay. But in terms of the tower?
And the tower,
Oh,
yeah, they're gonna, I don't know, they probably won't go live, I
Yeah.
wouldn't think until July, but June or July, because they gotta install there's a box, electrical boxes
Yeah.
and stuff, they might go before that, but I don't wanna say it out loud.
Yep.
We're scheduling the town report dedication for March 2nd, excuse me. The New Haven Impression said that they would provide us a handful of books,
Okay.
even if they all weren't ready at that
Yeah,
time.
great.
So we're gonna get the invitations out and get that going. Hub 66 I'm still working on.
Okay.
For some reason they're not receiving my emails, but they receive Deb's. So I'm gonna have Deb schedule something for me. Trustees of trust funds, that's just an update for you, what we had started to do to try and solicit people. And we've actually solicited 2 from the budget committee. They've signed up to run, so. Jeffers Road, I put a copy of the letter in your packet. It didn't get out till January 23rd, but it did go out, and I'm gonna keep this on ticker file.
Yep.
To make sure that we take care of this stuff in the spring.
Haven't heard anything back?
Before the letter went out, we had a complaint that the plowing dug up so I added that to the letter.
Yeah.
So the letter is pretty specific that we're going to put it back to where it's supposed to be, and if there's any damage from plowing,
It's in the right of way.
it's in the right of way,
Yep.
yeah. Contractor issues, there's a legal opinion under number 6 in your folder. And I'll let you
Yep.
read those because I did reach out to find out some solutions, and so I'll let you read those for now, and then we can certainly talk about those solutions in the
Which one is
future.
it? The one that says letter?
Number 6, So 6TA6 contractor, she's very bottom.
Got it.
Yep, that's the attorney's opinion. And those were emailed out late today, so
Yes.
so you should have them in your email as well. But going back to the TA report.
Employee survey.
Yeah, so I put those also, so we've created a subcommittee, and part of why we did that was because it's easier than having a whole group of department heads get into the room and make changes, and then, so we've got a subcommittee, when we've got a schedule, and I didn't send you the schedule, I said I did in the email, but I didn't. We've got a schedule set up between now and October to review sections of the personnel policy with the committee, then go to the department heads, and so we can present in 2 meetings to you in November, so that we can make whatever recommended changes that are approved go effective January 1st. The committee thought it would be good to do a survey. And it would mainly be the full-time employees, because they are the ones who have the benefits packages. And if you look at number 6, TA4, that's the questions that have been suggested by the committee.
Yeah.
If you are okay with those. In the conversation, I know we talked about doing something like that one time. I don't know if we were serious.
No, I'm all for it. That would be great.
So we put in number 6, TA5, an employee satisfaction survey. Those are just questions we threw together. And those would mainly be, our thoughts are, bless you.
Excuse me.
It would end up being 2 surveys that go out to the staff. One would be on the personnel policy to the full-time employees.
Yeah.
It's done through SurveyMonkey, so they would be provided a link to go to it. SurveyMonkey will calculate everything up for you. And we already have the SurveyMonkey account. And then number 5 would be to all employees, offer them the opportunity to answer. But I didn't know if you had different questions, or if you were okay, if you thought those questions were sufficient, or if there's something else you'd like to see added.
I thought they were fine. I like that they're simple, straightforward, and yeah.
So that's, and our intent is to get these out as quickly as we can and give people time frame to respond to them. And then obviously we're going to put on the personnel policy questions. There would be a disclaimer saying we're taking something like, we're taking your input, however, not everything
Right.
can be applied. So, but I think a lot that came out of the personnel policy subcommittee was that there was some very dissatisfied employees over some of the changes in the past couple of years.
Right.
So that's why we thought this would be a good opportunity to try and get their input and see. We obviously can't make everything happen, but to get their input to see what we could do.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's good.
I think it's great.
Oh, good.
So, all right, so we will move forward with both of those.
Yeah.
The last thing, I threw that on there because I had a thought. That's dangerous, I know.
What's that?
The last thing on the I have another thing I wrote down for the TA report, but the last thing on the TA report was some kind of employee recognition. I just want, before we do anything, I wanted to see if the board, we thought of, this kind of came out also in the personnel policy group. We thought we could start doing something, build up do some kind of once a month recognition.
No, I think that's great.
And before we outline how it would be, we want to make sure you support that, so.
Definitely. Do we?
I like the once a month better than a year.
Yeah.
Well, some of the things that were thrown out, I worked for a company that the employees recommended someone.
Yeah.
And so they recommended, and there was a group that actually reviewed the recommendations and picked an employee from those recommendations. And that employee was the one for the month. And then at the end of the year, out of the 12, there was one employee picked for the employee of the year. So, and that just one way we did it, but so employee of the year the first year. So that was a J Jill.
So when they did that, I was the first one to get it.
Yeah, so, but I was the last one of the month, December, and then I was the one for the year. So I have a picture with the president of the company. So,
Nice. And people want to do this?
we don't, I don't
I've heard
know.
a lot, you know, at the state, they can't do anything for you, so those are some of the things they do for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But we ended up with just the employee of the year. Because some people think the employee of the month is, let's pick the next name out of the hat.
Yeah.
We have 50 employees, we can't give it to the same guy twice. So if we've gone through 50, now we're gonna start back at one. I know that isn't how it works, but this is a perception sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't,
Well, and you, technically, you have what, 4950 roughly full-time employees, but you have more part-time and call
Right.
firefighters and
Right.
so.
and then the other thing I say is you have to watch for, because I've been there are those positions that have visibility because of
Yeah.
the projects they have to do, right? So what a great job you did, because we had to suddenly rebuild this room and you did that, and all the other guys are doing their day-to-day job, great. But because you happen to have this project,
Yeah.
You're
you
on
get
the
more
front line.
visibility. Doesn't,
Well,
I'm okay with it.
well, it's something to think about, but we haven't fine-tuned it at all, but
Here's all the negatives, but I'm okay with it.
You just gotta figure out how you're gonna.
we're gonna do a select board of the year member.
Still not getting me to run again.
I'll give it to you now. Both of you. Share the warrant.
Okay.
All right,
February
so
2nd.
we'll fine tune something, but we just, and go from here, but we'll start the survey at least.
Yeah.
We were gonna do the appointment for the EDC
Yes.
person, however, the appointment paperwork has to be prepared by Rayma. So
Okay.
you might as well wait till the next meeting, I'll just let her know.
Okay.
It doesn't mean she can't attend the next EDC meeting, she just can't vote.
Tell her we would have voted yes.
Yes, yeah.
I do have a motion though.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
misplaced my pen.
Okay.
There went.
Civil minutes.
I usually have like 12 pens with me.
Yeah, you keep stealing mine, no, I'm kidding.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I make a motion to seal the minutes of
Yes.
the non-public session indefinitely.
Second.
Second by Carol. Roll call vote.
Carol, aye.
Anita, aye.
Sean, aye.
Don, aye.
Thank you.
Boys.
She died.
What'd she say?
Sounds awful. I did have one more thing
Yeah.
on the TA report, I just wanted to show you. If I can get it up.
Just gotta go back.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, too late.
It doesn't come up with,
You have to go back.
Yes. That's the least we've got to sign.
Does Les see what you share on the?
yeah,
Okay. I thought so.
Okay, on the town website.
come on. Okay, now I can't type from back here, but I can do it in the mouse. So,
Need to requisition a wireless keyboard.
we set up a 2023 town meeting and information and documents. It's a welcome, tells them about petition warrant articles when they're due by, budget committee public hearings. Kate added the live stream can be viewed here. These other items will be added as soon as we get them, which should be tomorrow. Voting day, elections, we put that, what they're voting on, election of officers. Their filing period is Friday, and then these are the officers that are being voted on. Proposed zoning amendments, if you click here, it takes you to the proposed zoning amendments page, which has been up for a little while, but gives you a little basic information. If you click on the other one, it tells you exactly what was changed in each article.
Where's the other one? That was a quick move you just did.
Sorry, proposed zoning amendments, this one,
Yeah.
it takes you to, we set this up when the planning board did their public hearing.
Yeah.
So this page is proposed zoning amendments for their public hearing, but it's the same information that's going on the ballot.
Yeah.
And then, so it tells you each this is the second public hearing, this is the first public hearing, what was on each one. If you go back to this page, if you click on the full information document can be located here.
Oh, there you go, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
This tells you exactly what was changed,
Thank
and
you.
that's what we usually put up at,
Yeah.
up at the voting, so people can read it if they want to.
Yeah.
Christina, there's a stack of those printed out in front of Raina's, because I picked one
Oh.
up today.
Oh, great.
We put them up in the lobby, both lobbies, and we usually put it on the website, but also voting, there'll be, whatever's left, Brayma usually takes up to with her, so. We are gonna also be doing a, video with, Cade and
On the zoning amendments?
on the zoning amendments. We did it last year with Zoom, but Zoom froze
Yeah.
partway through, and all you saw was Randall Kelly's face. And we're like, okay, let's move on. And then he came back, but.
That's good, because in my, I'll probably get in trouble for saying it. In my opinion, these are the least informed,
Yeah.
not voters, but votes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've made a lot of these changes
Yeah.
from, I'm not tooting my own horn because we started making them before me.
Yeah.
But we made a lot of the improvements. The website helped.
Yes.
Being able to share more information.
Yes,
with people.
because most people just say yes.
Or no.
Right.
Yeah, they'll go through all yeses or all nos.
Yeah.
We
Zoning? No, yeah, right.
Right.
That's my
We
guess.
did ask Rayma or Ned if they wanted a representative up there, and they felt it would be too much like electioneering.
Okay.
So, because we've offered to sit at a table and just answer questions
Yeah.
that day, but,
Yeah.
so this works out better.
Okay.
The ballots, once they're available, we'll have them. The town meeting business session is there, and once the official warrant's been approved by the budget committee, and the budget, those things will be added, and the town report.
Okay.
If there's something else you can think of, let us know, but those are all on the homepage, and Kate is also linking them to Facebook. And the public hearing on the proposed articles is here, and Kate's also gonna add the live streaming link there as well, so.
Yes.
Have we officially decided we're gonna have voting at Old Town Hall, or?
That's what I was saying, that needs to be up there. Please tell me we're not going up there.
You are.
You know, we've asked this like 3 times since last
Is
March.
it too late to try and convince them to have it here?
Do we have?
I need to know I need to know before we post the warrant. We're supposed to post the warrant with where the 2 sessions will be.
No, that's true.
So we can,
Yeah, we should have done it
let
tonight
me
then.
look at the,
This is a fail on our part.
oh,
though.
you know what? I'm so
both.
sorry, Les.
What's
Well,
that?
or somebody's part. This is a fail. I mean, this is
Sorry,
people
Les.
wanted us to fix
Here,
this.
see?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I didn't think about it until tonight.
I didn't share this with Les. That's my fault.
That's okay.
So
That's all right.
this is the page. This is what it looks like and all the stuff I just said. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get used to doing it with this group, but
Do
That's fine.
we have purview over that, or does the town moderator have purview over
the moderator has
Yeah.
purview over
No, I
that.
meant we, the governing body, that,
Yeah,
but
Didn't we have a conversation regarding a better line of communication with using the Marion Center?
We did, but we've also had people who have been ill for 3 weeks and things started to get to the point, so I'm not sure.
how much time have we got?
I was just gonna check the calendar from NHMA and see what they say.
We empty out the fire station?
That's not very warm for people to sit in all day either.
but the new one, if we have radiant heat before.
That would be really nice.
Trouble is, we're not gonna have any place to park. Sorry, that was just me.
That was fun.
That was so easy.
Nicely done. Very nicely done. We're in the schools, here we go again.
I know it's not a,
When you
yeah,
toss the softball like that.
don't get me started on that.
Do you want me to go over and talk to the superintendent? I'll be happy to have a conversation with him.
I think it would be good long-term. I really do.
For March.
I can tell you what they're gonna say now for March because it's not in the calendar. And they're gonna wanna close for the day if they do something with that,
The last day for budget,
which I don't think they have to, but regardless.
They don't have to.
Yeah.
last day to post and publish notice of day, hour, and place. Well, this says March 4th session, let's check this, never mind. So the budget committee has to submit 2 copies of the annual budget to the select board for them to post with the warrant, and that's February 22nd. The warrant is your official notice of where town meeting and voting is.
Right. 2 weeks.
Last day for select board to post warrant and
2.5
budget
weeks.
at all polling places and at clerk's office or town hall. Warrant shall state place, day, and hour of election, hours polls are open, and which items are being voted on the ballot, February 27th. So you could invite Ned and Rima back into the 16th and ask, but does that give them time to relocate
Why
everything?
can't we just call them and say, can you jump on this? And people are gonna be mad at us. This isn't right, they didn't take care of it.
I was gonna say, can we
It's
just,
not right.
can we just officially
Well,
send them an
We
email
can.
through you
we did,
requesting?
but we can again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do any legwork that they need while I'm around. They need somebody to talk to the Marion Center or whatever.
I'll email both Rima and Ned Gordon.
And if we can, we should try to get a shuttle like we talked about in March, and maybe even another police officer.
Doing it in this room is
This room
out
would be great, I mean, why not?
for,
I mean, for the smaller election, I think, and for
For-
the bigger elections, it was too hard, but if we, even
local
if we,
election, we get 400 to 600 people.
I mean, you could spread them out, the check-ins out down the hall and
Yeah.
send them in to vote in here, instead of having to squeeze everybody into the one room and
Yeah.
close the town clerk's window for the day.
You have to check on, there's certain things where you have to be able to see certain different things.
Right.
That may not, I don't think that's possible. I think
Even
they-
if you
I think
have the
that all has
doors?
to be in the same room.
All right,
I mean, if that's the easy solution.
That was the problem last time, so we just set up the check-in right along here.
yeah.
People just waited out.
So,
If, yeah, I mean, if it's the pleasure of the majority of the board that, I don't have any issue with that building, but I'm also not 75 years old trying to walk up there either.
right, and in March, it's still probably gonna be too cold to even run a golf cart up there.
I mean,
At this rate, it'll be 50 degrees and dry.
Oh no, Punxsutawney Phil said the opposite.
6 more weeks,
6 more weeks.
that's what he said
I
this
think-
morning.
I think it's a great place to do it, because of the history, and you're having
It
your
just-
elections in that building,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
great.
Yeah.
But until
So,
the
I mean,
sidewalks
what
are-
can we do to help people get from here to there?
Well,
And to help them get their, you know, disability vehicles up the hill, and to
Yeah.
guide, to make sure they know to do that.
Yeah.
You know, do we post someone here in the parking lot, a staff person? Or put a sign up for handicap access at the town hall or
Drive-
something? that-
Driving into that parking, the town office isn't very easy either though. That, because your car goes down and then up and then if you don't clear the lot, the grass, because we usually, in the summer, you can park on the grass.
Yeah.
But if you don't clear it, you've got 2 spots here, and if there's snow here, you have nothing else, so.
But if we have to go there, we have to do everything we can to
Right.
make this better
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's reach out and see if there's any alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be fine for that election, wouldn't it? In here?
we used it once or twice.
Just
I know the 3 years ago,
Right.
we did.
We
Lee's
used
and I
to
were
take
standing
their
outside.
pop-up out there.
I had the pop-up, that's right.
We used it once, yep.
It was fine.
Yeah.
There's no reason, we were told that we couldn't use it for the bigger elections. It was fine for those smaller elections.
I'm all
I agree
for
with
it.
Les.
Okay,
All right, I'll reach out.
thank you.
That's it for my town.
Thank
To
you.
you.
Okay. Great.
Sorry for bringing that up, but.
Select board item.
No, because it
Wasn't
was
even
coming
select
anyway.
board items yet, wait a minute,
Yeah.
no kidding.
Carol, do you have anything under select board items?
For us new guys, I still have 3 more months. No, a month and a half more. to start.
Month and a half.
Do you ever do a little let's get the select board prepared for town meeting. So
Oh.
work session.
Oh, yeah.
It's already on my agenda, my
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah,
I would appreciate that.
yes, we do.
Yeah, next meeting we'll.
Have you shared the decision you guys made on Tuesday?
What?
I heard you say at least 6 times.
Oh, yeah, we didn't share that, did we?
Obviously, my
So we're
memory's
gonna do,
failing me.
I've scheduled
Please.
warrant article assignments for the next meeting, so February 16th.
Okay.
But we already know who we're assigning them all to.
Done.
Yeah.
Not gonna bug me.
On Tuesday, I'd say, isn't this gonna be controversial? And they'd say, not a problem, we're gonna assign it to you.
Yeah.
That's great.
I was gonna.
He doesn't mind hearing himself talk, so it'll be fine.
And then we said something else, and I'm like, oh, let's just sign them all to Don.
And he is going, yeah, that sounds good too.
My trap
all right.
shut.
So I've put warrant article assignments for February 16th, your next
Okay.
meeting, so.
All right. Carol, anything else?
Nope.
Anita?
I just wanted to say something that I was really happy about today. I was down at Profile Falls, and on the field side where the launch ramp and stuff, they're now grooming that so that you can walk that way. It's never been groomed over there.
Oh, okay.
On the, the first
Yep.
left.
Oh, yeah,
Yep,
that's right.
out
yeah.
into the field.
Yeah,
I
they
noticed
got
that
a
the other
new,
day.
they got a new, thing for their truck that they plow with, and they're grooming that all. So now, because now there are a ton of sled dogs down there, and
Yeah.
a lot of snowmobilers, and, I mean, I
It's a nice
love
place
them,
to
but
be
it's,
able to walk.
but it, it's hard to walk down there. There are
Yeah.
5 teams that are
Great.
doing that.
Nice.
So today it was
Nice.
go over the other way. They'd be very happy. That's it.
Okay. Don?
I already stirred the pot.
Okay.
I'm done.
Les, do you have any selectment items? Les?
Well, I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you.
Bless you.
I only was gonna bring up the tax issue, for the veterans credit, so I am good. Christina, do you have anything else?
Go ahead. Something I brought up last night, but she can
I'm reminding him. So, Carol brought up last night a House bill that we thought the board should, also be aware of. I'll pull it up on the screen, and then I'll remember to, I can't.
Oh,
It's
let's have live streaming at every meeting did not pass today.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
it did pass committee?
It didn't pass the House floor. It's done.
Oh, okay. Good.
So, oh,
That's
it's
a good
done,
thing.
oh, thank God.
Well, the people around me were saying, a lot of the smaller towns aren't even this far.
Oh, yeah.
They have no equipment to do it,
Yeah.
so.
This is, we're still trying to catch up on some of the stuff before the bills that are there.
Joanne did you see what Joanne sent out?
No,
The
I haven't had time.
So, this New Hampshire Associated Conservation Commission's actually emailed about it today.
Oh, yeah.
Planning people ought to like this.
So it's hard to see it on the screen, but it says, for projects with 3,000 square feet or less of permanent impervious impacts within 50 feet of a wetland, no additional local land use permits or overlay districts shall be required or apply to the project. So it contradicts totally our wetlands conservation overlay district, which has a 50-foot buffer.
Right.
And also, we're not quite clear if it supersedes even the floodplain, because some of the floodplain is 50 feet.
Yeah.
So, but that's 3,000 square feet. That's a pretty substantial.
That's,
Yeah. So.
that's a 30-foot driveway.
Yeah, or a 2,700 square foot house plus their parking area. But so we thought we talked to the conservation. Well, Carol brought it up last night. Conservation Commission level, the Association of Conservation Commissions is asking people to oppose it, and then I'm going to bring it to the planning board.
Okay.
So, but that we'd let you know as well.
I offered to testify at the House on behalf of the town, not on behalf of myself.
Yeah.
Or the Conservation Commission, the Planning Board, or the town, or whatever, whichever is preferable. I'll try to do some more homework and send it to you guys if I have a little more It looks like another one where the sponsor hasn't quite got his ducks in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
What you're gonna find is a lot of that is somebody has a little pet project or they have a friend that wants to get around the law, so they introduce that kind of thing.
Or ran into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's
You'll find that a lot, Honorable.
if someone could just say, I'm gonna use pervious pavement,
Yeah.
that would give them more leeway, right? Because now
Right.
you're still under that 3,000 feet of, if you don't have an impervious driveway, you can have a bigger house.
Right.
In essence, so.
I guess that did bring up something that reminded me. How is the, you held the
Lake quality?
lake quality,
Yeah.
yes, thank you.
So, I was trying hard to get anybody else to talk.
I know, you sounded a little frustrated at
I
one
was a
point.
little frustrated.
But-
Anyway,
Oh, I
so
can share that page.
we kind of made, I sent out an email last month and we made the decision, each month we're gonna pick 2 documents to have read. And then go over them at the following meeting. And then we're gonna try to, I created a little tiny spreadsheet to say, we can say, what are the problems that have been identified? Where do we think they're coming from? What are the suggested remedies to that? How does that relate to a sewer? Would a sewer solve this? And then maybe the way forward.
Yeah.
So that, so yeah, I think it's fine, having Newfoundland Lakes Region Association here is invaluable,
Yeah.
because,
Good.
and I think for the most part, they were a little frustrated with me, because everybody's like, well, we kind of know where we're going. You read most of what we've read already, most of the phosphorus comes from streams, there's a little bit of higher phosphorus in the bottom of the lake. Only about 6% comes from groundwater, which would be septic systems, and we're gonna solve this with land use corrections. However, I stress that we wanna be able to say that we did the due diligence and write down where we get to that conclusion. So it's good so far, I think.
And I think I also stressed to them too, like, great, you could put in land use regulations, but who's gonna enforce them?
Well, you gotta
You
pass
gotta-
them.
Well,
You gotta
you
pass them and
them.
enforce them.
You gotta pass them and then enforce them, but you gotta have somebody who understands how to enforce them.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's somebody who has to be certified in something?
Yeah,
So
well, all the recommendations from the 2009
I'm gonna go through those. Every acre.
Every acre counts, that was the NRA document. I don't think hardly any of those have been done, a few, but not much.
think
They're
there's-
recommendations for land use planning solutions.
Yeah.
So,
So
but it's good. It's good.
this is their study documents page. We have some changes to make from last night to it, but this is some of the stuff that we've gathered so far and that they're starting to review, so, but.
Cool.
It's a good group. We have, do you know Ken Millender? So, his folks, well, I think he just passed away in his elementary nursing home. They own a place at Camelot. They've been there for years. He doesn't live there. His parents own the place at Camelot. So he's an engineer. He's worked in water quality, and he's pretty well versed. And then, of course, we've got NLRA and myself, so we have a good technical background. And then it's a good group, so.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
And actually, if you're interested, I will be talking to her NLRA, but NLRA will be doing a presentation on, is it the watershed? Is that what?
Yeah, the watershed plan.
The watershed plan at the next conservation/lake water quality study group meeting. We just have to confirm the time, and we're gonna try and have both lake water quality and conservation. Conservation's gonna start doing training sessions, so we're gonna try to have both of those, but both groups attend that. How's that? But you're welcome to join if you have an interest. So.
Yeah, we should email everyone on
And
the
the
board as
planning
a
board
reminder.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just quickly, I did receive correspondence from Joanne Bailey regarding a complaint that was made by a resident or a landowner regarding a logging issue, and so I directed her that there were two parts to the complaint. One was how it was being cut, and not a lot that you can do about that, but if you think there's a basal area violation, you can call the state. And two was the use of a right-of-way, and I said, a right-of-way is a right-of-way. Doesn't matter how much frontage they have somewhere else, they can still use still use a right-of-way through your property. Any damages would be civil. I said, so it's no town issue.
You can cut a right away and you can pave a right away.
Oh yeah.
And it does affect the property owner, unfortunately, but you can.
Yeah.
We have a few of those on Hemlock Brook Road that have access through Bristol to Bridgewater.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Had I ever told you about the right of way that goes through Woodbury's condos, the Manor condo. So when my new neighbors moved in, the folks from Florida, they went through their deed and they found that their deed said from Upper Birch that they have a right of way through Manor Estates to the lake.
Oh.
And of course, Manor Estates disagreed with that. That's why there's that little no trespassing sign there.
Yeah.
Up towards Shackett's.
Yeah.
So, and that's why 2 years ago they had an area roped off because the neighbors said we need to mark off to show that we
To establish their.
it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Manor Estates decided to take them to court. And in fact, I'll print it and give it to you. I told you I was going to do that. The court came back and said, yes, they do have a right of way, and the way it reads, 12 families on Upper Birch can have a right of way through Manor Estates to the lake.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's like,
Yeah.
Careful when you go to court, right? Careful what you.
What you wish for, yeah.
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 We do have a member of a board that has had an illness happen. I can let you know after who that is, but we're gonna send, we thought we'd send something from the zoning board, historic district, the cemetery trustees, can narrow it down, and the select board. So we'd add this all together, but it's a pretty serious illness, so.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Public comment?
I just wanted to mention that in budget committee, the previous meeting 3 weeks ago, we went over the outside agencies, including the health agencies, and we had a pretty vigorous discussion. And one of the things that came up is that we, in the future, would want more information. So I went and talked to Wendy in the office, and I found out she had basically a form letter that she sends to everyone, submit what you want. And I said, well, if we came back to you before the letter went out with a list of additional specific questions we want, would that be a problem? She said, not at all. So at the meeting on Tuesday, I said to the committee, we have an opportunity, but we would have to start our cycle earlier and meet in probably August in order to work up all those questions, and the committee said they were interested. So if you guys I do want to let you know aware of it. So I don't anticipate we're going to ask specific questions, specific items, but I think we're going to we'd have a set of questions we want to ask to the home health agency. So we're going to have a set of questions we're going to ask to the people providing social services maybe or something like that, because it'll make our job easier discussing whether or not we think they're really delivering value and worth support.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Historically, the budget committee has at various times met through the summer, or maybe they took the summer off, but have met like spring after town meeting to organize, and then maybe take a month or two off. But there have been times when they've gone right through. So
I wanted to let
it's
you
up
know
to you
about
then.
that. And the other thing I'll just mention is we also talked about wanting, I think it was from COVID mostly, but certainly over the past few years, the turnout at our public meeting has been less, and we talked about trying to get that up. So just to let you guys know, we made an effort to get some announcements out in the
Great.
Bristol Buzz and the Newfound Landing and, things like that.
Yep.
I re-upped it on Facebook
And
today.
Kate put it on the town web and things
Right.
like that.
Add an extra 500,000 somewhere, you'll get a lot of.
A typo.
This was a test, yeah.
I gotta say,
Just to see if they're paying attention.
I prefer friendly, happy people.
It
It was just an idea.
About the proposed law to take the selectmen's vote out of the budget
Oh,
committee.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know
obviously.
where that hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
Any other items? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn
Motion to adjourn.
by Carol, seconded by Dawn. I will call all those in favor.
Carol, aye.
Aye.
Don, nay.
For the record, yeah.
4 to
Thank you,
1.
Les. Get some rest.
Thank you,
Take
Les.
care, Les.
Good job.
Yeah, that was 4 to 1 on the last vote. Yeah.